5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
Oh, did somebody say 1, 2, 6? They did. Me. Just now. Pod a day. Doctor away. 126 days in a row. Crazy. Very tired. Very tired. Night shift. The night shift. Got back in 7 a.m. Probably slept until midday. Then thought it kind of got to a point where I was just like, it's not working anymore. Like, this isn't sleep. This is just me with my eyes closed pretending. So I just decided, let me just be awake. I can't force it. I'm not going to sleep into the afternoon, which is what I wanted. Then I just thought, I'll just probably have a good, like today, I'll just have an actual, like, real good, like, deep sleep through the night. I can't sleep throughout the day, I think, because my mind is too active. Like, it feels like it's missing out. Like, stuff's happening. I know things are actively happening. There's things I could be, I don't know, doing or checking out. And I'm here sleeping, so it's too much thoughts. It keeps me up. It's not that I'm not tired enough. Like at night time, it takes me. I'll lie in bed and pretend to sleep for about 45 minutes until I actually fall asleep. So the daytime is like that struggle is just max times by 10. But I just thought I'd just go for the day. Nothing for no fuck all the day anyway. Fuck all the day. And then you'll just have a beautiful sleep the night after anyway. Again, I don't know why I keep starting this. It was just sort of naff news. I know it's not. Sorry. I just called that news. Naff nothingness. That no one needs to hear. But here we are. That's an interesting face. Okay. Arsenal. Arsenal. Up the Arsenal. They bottled the league. And I'm saying it out loud. I didn't want to really say it out loud anywhere else. I was at work. We weren't allowed our phones. And, you know, I was talking to Arsenal fan. And we were just asking this guy, the manager guy was like asking every like pretty much 5 minutes, like, what's the scores? He'd be like, yeah, what? He was like a dealer, like in a cartoon with like all the different like pencil sharpeners taped on the inside of his coat pocket or whatever. He's like, what score do you want? We're like, all of them. Obviously I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm like, I'm waiting for him to get to that result. He's like fucking Chris Kamara or whatever. He's got the info. He's going through them all. I'm just like patiently waiting for him to get to Chelsea. And he doesn't know what teams we support, so he's just going through them like, Liverpool are winning, great result for them. Fucking Chelsea losing again. Cursing the sky. Lost 2-0 to Brentford. But ultimately, I can accept this. My season ended a long, long time ago. Arsenal, though. Everyone said it was going to be an easy game for City. Everyone said it was very likely City would win. Me, on the other hand, pessimistic, nervous, scared. And I just thought, whenever I see a game and there's all these stats that go against the team, like they haven't won here in 10 games or they've lost their last 4, I just think, well, it's got to change at some point, and this is going to be the one where it changes. Luckily, it wasn't the case. It lost 4-1. And when I was there, I wanted to cheer in the Arsenal fans' face. I wanted to do a knee slide across the courtyard. I wanted to, sue. I wanted to, I wanted to scream from the rooftops. Thank fuck, the nightmare scenario has not came to truth. Arsenal will not be winning this league. But as things stand, after that game, Arsenal went from first to first, and although City have 2 games in hand, they have not played them yet. For all we know, they could lose them. They could lose one and draw the other. We just don't know. There is a small world, I think like an 8% chance, they say, that Arsenal could still win this league. And me putting this energy out, like getting happy too soon, scares me. It scares me because it's like this thing can all come back round. You got a little bit excited too early. But here, where I know no one's watching, I feel safe in the comfort of not one but the own voices in my head, that I can kind of start to celebrate early that Arsenal will not be winning this league, because I think, honestly, a lot earlier than other people would have admitted to, I sort of conceded to the fact that I thought Arsenal were going to win the league this year. I think a lot of people always had in their mind City would come back, and maybe it took them a little bit longer than they thought. But I'm not even saying like January time, like after the World Cup, like long before that, I thought oh no, I've seen this before. This is a one team domination type that they're unbeatable no matter where they go. Like they could be down 3-0 and you're kind of sure they're still going to get it. Like when Liverpool won the league, they have games like that all the time. Like they could be like 2-0 down, 3-0 down, and it's just like they're getting something here. And then it would just happen to be like, oh, they've got the one back, and then they get two back in within 2 minutes and stuff. And you're just like, what? They like some random player who doesn't get any game time comes to the bench and scores a worldie. These things just happen. It's just like they would have so many moments, and then you would watch commentators and people talk, and they'd always say the same overused phrase, which is, I tell you what, when you look at teams that have won the league in the past, they have moments, league deciding moments where you say, that's the team that wins the Premier League. And Arsenal had about 100 of those moments this season. And I was probably on the train. I remember doing a work day last year. I think it was like October time. One of the guys that was an Arsenal fan, I remember talking to him at the time, and Chelsea was still shit at that time. I mean, that's like 2-3 managers ago. We had Tuchel still. I remember I was complaining about the fact it was when did we bring in Aubameyang? January? Okay, so probably no, because it was last year, wasn't it? Was it this year? I don't remember, man. I don't remember. Point is, I've been kind of believing Arsenal were going to do it from early. I remember we was kind of talking then, and I was in my head. I was just kind of thinking. He was just really confident. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, they've kind of won it, and I was just keep praying. And City had opportunities, but Arsenal kind of slipped up a little bit here and there, and it looked like they weren't willing to take them this season. All of a sudden, something just snapped, and Arsenal, like out of nowhere, drew to Liverpool after being 2-0 up, drew to West Ham after being 2-0 up, go 2-0 down to Southampton, then 3-1 down, and they managed to get it back to 3-3. But that's 3 draws in a row out of nowhere. And then they lose 4-1 to City, and all of a sudden, like the interviews from Arteta and players, it's just changed. Like all of a sudden, like this bravado and this like confidence they had out of the window. Like especially from Arteta, like the change in tone so quick, it was just insane. But I love it. I'm here for it. I'll drink the tears, thankfully, gratefully. That's if it actually goes through, because now. I mean, if they were going to win the league before anyway, it would have been terrible. If they won the league now, it's like they came over adversity. They've like pulled it back. They sort of did what everyone was laughing at them for and saying they couldn't do, and it would be even worse than if they just won it outright to now come back and win it with all the odds against them. And that is kind of what I'm terrified of, that possibility still, because I don't rule anything out. You know, there's a chance, a small chance, a chance nonetheless. Like if I'm about to go on a roller coaster and they're like, you got an 8% chance of death, that's pretty high to me. So Arsenal, it's not over. It's not over till woman of any size starts. It's usually a fat woman starts singing. But I think Arsenal's next game is Chelsea. And, I mean, we've lost 5 out of 5 with Frank Lampard. It's an absolute... What was like, oh my God, Christmases came early. I don't really care how the season pans out. We got Frank here, so it's going to be a bit of fun. Vibes has turned into, wait, this was a terrible, terrible mistake. Because I don't think Lampard is a good manager, but I don't think he can never be one. I don't think he is like awful, but I think... He takes jobs. He loves jumping on a sinking ship. The man loves, like, on the Titanic, everyone's screaming to get off. You got the violinists just playing their way down. Frank Lampard's the only guy coming over on a speedboat to just come in thinking he can like save it. Like he's trying to plug up the holes. It's like, you're not that guy, pal. Like, very few managers can come in and do that. And there's some things I would argue for Lampard that look good for him. The fact that Everton are still in the relegation zone or falling into it since he's left. Like Dyche hasn't done that much of an improvement, but I just think if he wants to carry on the managerial thing, just humble yourself a bit. Don't be looking for these big jobs that are too much for you at your current stage of your career and your current ability level. At Derby, that was the right kind of level. You did good things there. Find a Derby for yourself. Maybe go back to Derby. That could be a decent move. I don't know how they're doing right now. I know they got relegated into... He wouldn't go that far down. He'd win at least a championship job. And it'll be hard. It'd be hard to manage back in the championship. Like, I'm sure he'd rather manage in another top 5 league. Maybe he'd prefer to go to another country. I don't know how good a foreign speaking language Lampard would do, so I wouldn't recommend that. and it would be hard to go back down to the Championship after been in the managing Champions League games. But I think if you want to actually be a manager, which I think he does, I don't think it was just like a Gary Neville thing, then you just got to, I think a big problem from Lampard is he doesn't command respect. He commands respect for a couple of weeks when people are like, oh, it's Lampard, he did great things as a player. But he's only dropping with respect when it's like, if you look at his CV type thing. So it's like he has to build up a CV where he can walk into the dressing room and start to go up the ranks and get respect from people in that way. But yeah, of course. I don't know. Basically, we have Arsenal next on Tuesday, and there's the amount of times where we've been in great form and Arsenal have been in shit form under Emery or even Arteta at times, or a bunch of managers, even towards the end of Wenger's time, where they've just been in terrible form, but then they come and play us and for some reason get something out of the game. I pray for that, but in reverse, because 6 out of 6 losses. I mean, 3 out of 3 losses is insane. 4 out of 4 isn't. It keeps getting insane. 6 out of 6 is even more insane. The idea we might not win a single game under Lampard. The idea that we're actually scared of relegation right now. It's like, although I don't think Lampard's like a great manager yet, I'll still hold out faith. It's like we are unnecessarily dragging his name through the mud right now. And I couldn't watch the game because I was at work, but when I saw clips of like things that are not a manager's fault, players just like the ball coming to them and just like jogging over to it and letting other players take it, just type of thing, was just like, you're not trying. It's like, why are we dragging Lampard's name through the, like, we're making, stop it, it hurts. Outside of football, because I just spoke about that for like 12 minutes, which is insane. What else has happened? Well, I mean, Arsenal bottom of the league was pretty big, to be fair. I mean, it's been a bunch of movie stuff like June, like a bunch of trailers. Next Goal Wins trailer, Taika Waititi, which means are we not like Taika Waititi'd out? I was saying that after Thor, but then I thought it's a one-off. It's Marvel. These things can happen to the best of us. Marvel have been crushing the best of us. But this Next Goal Wins thing, it's just made me think. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a Taika it's like a fun. You try it. It's a nice taste, and then you get bored very quickly. I just thought that looked so mid-areno. I mean, you know what I'm actually excited about? I'm not afraid to admit I'll scream it from the rooftops if I have to. I won't, but I'll scream it right now. Well, I won't. Again, it's late. Young Harleasy, Jackie Harlow, Jackie H, J Hulls, Jackman, whichever. Surprise album, kind of out of nowhere, kind of been under the shadows, and I feel like it's going to be good, or I hope it's going to be good, because I'm a fan of his stuff. And it's hard to take when, you are a fan of someone's stuff, and then they drop an album that everyone sort of regards as shite, which is what everyone majoritarily regards Come Home, The Kids Miss You as a very bad album. And you don't want to fall into sort of Macklemore territory, which I'm not saying he is, but just mid music, just not good. And at the time when I first listened to it, I thought this is just okay. Maybe it will grow on me, because usually that's how his music usually goes for me. It grows. When I first listened to That's What They All Say, which I actually quite like now, the first time I listened through of it, I thought, I don't really like it that much. But then it grew on me. Young Harleasy had an opposite effect. And yeah, a lot of people just don't rate it. And I think, I don't know, he kind of had this long, like, I feel like when people have long, wordy titles for albums and stuff, like phrases and things like that, like Come Home, The Kids Miss You, and it's like him like all like pensive or whatever, and it's just like you had Usher, JT, Lil Wayne, and someone else. No, was it Usher? I don't know if it was Usher. It was JT, Lil Wayne, Pharrell Williams, and then someone else. All these people on it, and it just falls flat, and you thought it was going to be the thing that really just shot you up. It makes you step back and go, wait, how do I want to be regarded? I'm going to put myself in the sticks. I'm not gonna, because like he didn't push it, he hasn't promoted it, he hasn't put out like any singles, he hasn't shown a feature, he hasn't done anything. It's just like it's kind of exciting in that way. It's intriguing. Out of nowhere, someone's been crying in the shadows. You know, like I've been reading the tweets, I've been seeing what everyone's been saying about me, and I got something to prove. And then and it's like he didn't do it like, oh, in 2 weeks' time album drops. It was like this Friday, like in 2 days. So I look forward to that. Album cover, just like straight up disposable image photo type thing, not some studio thing, just like stripping it back, taking it back. And I look forward to it. I don't know if there will be features on it, I don't know how long it's going to be, I don't know. It comes out at midnight EST, Eastern Standard Time, so I doubt it'll be out at midnight in Londres, or London. Here midnight Eastern time to here, it's going to be like, I'll just listen to it tomorrow. It'd be out like 6 a.m. or some shit. But I look forward to it. The thing is, I know for a fact I'm not going to love it, I'm not going to hate it. I'm going to take a few songs off and put it into a playlist, as I always do, and I'm going to keep it moving. What I'm more nervous about is everyone else. Because I get, you know, Post Malone and the same Brockhampton is, I want other people to think it's good as well. You know, I don't want people to be like, that's bad, you know? Like, and maybe I should, that's probably not a good thing, maybe I shouldn't care about that, but it's like when No Way Home comes out, it's like, I liked it, I want everyone else to really, really like it, kind of thing. I want everyone else to think it was as good as I did, or better, or whatever. You know, I get invested in that way. But yeah, Jackman. This was on 2016 127.
Here with the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet, like a hero.